The majority, 90% of our animals would go for breeding purposes, whether it be breeding bulls or replacement females. And then after BSE and all these regulations started, people started going out of farming, out of beef industry, and there wasn't a market for someone, to be buying all the really good stock. Well, the market, it diminished. So in order to stay in business, we had to change the way we did things, and now a lot of our heifers do go for replacement heifers, but the majority of the animals, and of course all the steer, the bull calves, which we do steer, they do go for meat. This is Wilbur. He's 16 months old. He was bred, born, and raised on the farm. And in about 2 months, he is going to be slaughtered for our food. He's quiet. He's had a good life. No hormones. Pretty well all natural. And when we do slaughter him, we're going to put a dish of food down his grain, which he gets twice a day. So it'll be just like any other day, and he will be shot in the head. He won't feel a thing, no stress, and he's had a good life. And the unfortunate thing is, he's a large animal. We can probably only eat half of him, and our neighbor would like to, actually several neighbors are interested in the other side, but the way the laws are, is illegal for us to sell that meat because we are killing him on the farm.
Prior to the regulations being implemented, we would probably have 7 animals like this, of which we would provide meat who was interested in buying that product. It was a situation that allowed us to generate revenue on the farm and provide a service and a product that people were interested in buying, because people nowadays are very aware of what they're eating, and we were able to provide a product that would be guaranteed wholesome. What's happened with this whole BSE business, it was felt that they came out with regulations, and these regulations stated that, well, one size fits all, and certainly that's not the case. We're finding that there are numerous properties that are being sold because people just can't afford to financially support the lifestyle which they've chosen because of these regulations have impacted them severely. Generally, if what I hear from the Cattlemen's Association, now those are herds that they deal with, there's been a 25% decrease in numbers, but that doesn't include all the little mom and pop farms that have maybe a dozen or so cattle. Those are the ones that are being impacted severely. So I think it's a God-given right to be able to feed your family, and if you are interested in going to the farm and purchasing off the farm, you know what you're getting.
We have made a conscious decision to use the small farm and the locally produced produce on our table, and I feel that it has made a definite difference to our health and well-being. If anyone had any concept of how very difficult farming is, they would wonder why the farmer persists through the pressures of the environment, of the soaring costs, and worse, the strangling of the bureaucratic red tape that seems to wrap around them constantly. I have never had any problem with any of the free-range birds that I buy every year, and I facilitate probably the purchase of 60 birds annually for friends and family. If I am unhappy with that produce or meat that I buy, I have a very quick access to my producer. If I choose not to support a major producer of birds or meat, my small refusal to pay the price will not even be a hiccup in their bottom line. However, if I do not buy those 60 birds from the small farmer, they will feel it immensely.
I guess the first and most important reason for me is the choice. I want to be able to have the choice to buy my meat where I want it. And I want to buy it at a farm gate because I know where it's raised. I know the people who are raising it. I know the animals are raised naturally. And that's very important to me.
I want to eat a chicken that's been happy and slaughtered humanely and not pumped full of antibiotics because it's not in a natural surrounding. It's as if they're out of touch with the reality of rural living. The provincial government doesn't really understand the rural lifestyle and the fact that these are small operators and the slaughter facilities are small as well. I mean, they have to get things in perspective and into the right scale for the rural communities in British Columbia. Because we can't lose our small farmers. This is part of Canadian culture. You know, it's important. You know, in light of our economic downturn with all that's happened over the last few years, we need to start building more local economies. And, you know, the government talks about sustainability and buying local and the 100-mile diet and all these things. Well, if I can't go for a 20-minute drive and pick up some chickens or beef or whatever in my own community that's been raised here and slaughtered here and there's no transport.
I challenge anyone to eat a chicken that I purchase through Farmgate and compare it to any chicken they can buy in a grocery store.
Yeah. For
flavor, for texture. When I cook it, I don't end up with a pool of water.
Yeah.
Okay?
And the meat is dense. And
exactly. It's simply better.
Yeah.
So it's affected my ability to grow my small farm operation, and this valley is just full of nothing but small farms. You know, you have to respect the needs of little operators and the regulations and all the dilly-dallying around. It's just it's not working very well. It's not working for people. If I wasn't so stubborn, I would just give up and, you know, find something else to do.
It's affecting the general well-being of the industry. You know, are we confusing the safety of food with agriculture? And that at the end of the day, how many producers are going to be left because we are monthly losing all that knowledge and all those people that are not going into agriculture.
I very much endorse the small farm because I feel that it contributes to the community so hugely.
As the saying goes, you have to think global and you have to act
local. And it's a cliche, but it's true.
Yeah.
If we can't feed ourselves and we're dependent upon overseas markets, that's a dangerous scenario. And I think that we have to start here at the grassroots to come up with a system that allows the community to feed itself.
The meat inspection regulation led to increased costs for both small-scale farmers and their customers. Class E licenses would be the most economical way for small-scale farmers to meet their slaughter needs. The provincial government believes that inspection will protect us from food-borne pathogens. However, the community relationship of the small-scale farmer to their small-scale customers has a long history. An inherent accountability is built into this relationship that cannot be mimicked by regulation. Class E licenses enable low-stress slaughter of animals. Many farmers and their customers desire this. Research shows that meat quality is improved by low-stress slaughter, including no transportation. Because small-scale farmers have unique slaughter needs, Deciding whether a region is underserved or not, based only on the slaughter capacity of Class A and B licensed facilities, is not appropriate. Both the small-scale farmer and the paying customer have a right of choice. The ability of a community to feed itself is a key component of sustainability and resiliency. Crucial to the building and maintenance of a community food self-reliance is the knowledge held by farmers and the relationship that they build with their community. Locally grown food has a lower carbon footprint. Access to local food minimizes a community's dependence on outside food sources and increases community resiliency to climate change. Also, agricultural land plays an important ecosystem role by providing habitat and wildlife corridors. The solution is simple. Any farmer producing within the allowable limits who can demonstrate that they will slaughter in a humane and safe manner should be allowed a Class E license.
That's my favorite to talk.